In 1662, a London haberdasher sat down with a stack of burial records. He was not a scientist. He was not a doctor. He sold buttons and thread for a living. His name was John Graunt. He had one strange habit. He read death. Every week, London published a list called the Bills of Mortality, plague deaths, fever deaths, a category called teeth that nobody could fully explain. Most people glanced at the numbers and moved on. Graunt didn't move on. He counted. He sorted. He built tables no one had built before. What if the pattern of death could be predicted? What if a stranger's future could be read in the deaths of strangers who came before them? By 1662, Graunt had turned raw death into something new, a table that could tell you, on average, how long a person your age might live. He called it a life table. Today, we call it actuarial science. Consider what that means. A man who sold buttons had just invented the mathematics behind every insurance policy, every pension fund, every retirement plan on Earth. He noticed something else too. More boys were born than girls, close to 14 boys for every 13 girls. That ratio still holds true today. He noticed that plague killed fast and loud, but consumption, what we now call tuberculosis, killed slowly, year after year, hiding in plain sight as the deadliest disease in the city. He was working entirely without germ theory, without a microscope, without the word statistics, which hadn't even been invented yet, and yet his numbers worked. How does a man with no scientific training outpredict the doctors of his own century? The answer is unsettling. Graunt didn't need to understand disease, he only needed to understand pattern. Death, it turns out, is not random. Age follows rules. Even chaos at scale becomes math. The Royal Society took notice. Skeptical at first, Graunt wasn't a gentleman scholar, he was a tradesman. They admitted him as a fellow anyway. King Charles II reportedly ordered it himself, saying that if they found any more tradesmen with minds like Graunt's, they should let them in without delay. His book carried a title almost nobody remembers: Natural and Political Observations Made Upon the Bills of Mortality. Inside it was the seed of modern demography, modern insurance, modern public health. Every actuarial table used today to price a life insurance policy traces its lineage back to a haberdasher staring at plague deaths in the 1660s. Every time an insurance company calculates the odds you'll live to 80, it's running a more sophisticated version of Graunt's original idea. Here's the part that should unsettle you. Graunt proved something people didn't want to hear. Your death, statistically, is not really yours. It belongs to a pattern. Long before you were born, the shape of your life was already visible in the deaths of people who came before you, your age group, your city, your century. We like to think of our lives as unrepeatable, unpredictable, entirely our own. But somewhere in an actuarial table right now, there is a number, and that number is you. Graunt died in 1674, poor and mostly forgotten. His own life ended earlier than his tables might have predicted for a man of his station. He spent his life turning death into numbers. In the end, he became one.